Alright, so I just got back from the Toxic Avenger, unrated. And when I initially saw the trailers for this movie, I didn't think I was going to watch this movie, I didn't think I was going to like this movie. Kinda just looked like some grade B horror slop. But boy, am I glad I saw this movie. I really had a good time with this one. It's directed by Macon Blair, starring Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, and Taylor Page. And Elijah Wood is in there, and he'd be looking like Wormtongue from the Two Towers, which is kind of ironic, honestly. So the Toxic Avenger is about a guy and his kid. They lost their mother. He's working at BTH plant, which is this chemical plant. They're dumping chemicals into the water. He gets a little sick, and then he tries to pursue a cure. He gets himself in a little trouble, falls into this toxic waste, and becomes this, like, monster hero kind of guy. Let me start off by saying, personally, I am a fan of Peter Dinklage. Loved him in Game of Thrones. He's been in a couple other movies and series that I enjoyed him in. And here he doesn't really do a great job as like a human character. He kind of just plays Peter Dinklage. I mean, the first 30 minutes when he's not the Toxic Avenger, I honestly don't think he did a good job. I'm not sure if that was director's fault or the actor's fault. Just didn't enjoy his performance. But the moment he turned into the Toxic Avenger, I was sold. I like Peter Dinklage, especially if he was in that suit. I liked what he did there. And this is an unrated movie, and it's not because of nudity, it's not because of language, but it is because of violence. This film is fucking violent. There are kills in here that would put Mortal Kombat to shame. I mean, my god. It's almost a little too gross, some of the kills, but that's kind of what you sign up for when you go watch this movie. Besides the action and the violence, there is quite a bit of good humor in here. Most of the jokes land, and they land pretty solid. The theater that I was in was laughing at just about all the jokes. And visually, for like a grade B movie, it looked pretty good. There were a couple moments where they had like a crowd, it wasn't a lot of people, clearly they couldn't pay for all the extras. There were a couple moments where there's not amazing CGI. They kept the scale small, they knew what they could and couldn't do, and the execution was done pretty dang good. Now honestly, I would say the first 30 minutes are kind of weak. The middle, like 45 minutes, are where this film shines. And the ending, while not bad, it's just not as good as it could have been. The ridiculousness of this film kind of levels off. You kind of get used to the kills, you get used to the swearing and the comedy. Doesn't quite have the impact as it did when it first starts in the movie, but the ending was still solid. Now I mentioned Peter Dinklage didn't do a great job, but I do think the other actors did a pretty good job. Kevin Bacon is in this movie. Loved him as like the villain character, and my favorite was Elijah Wood. He basically plays Wormtongue from Two Towers. Like, he looks exactly like it, and I thought he did a great job. He did exactly what it was called for, and I'm surprised that Elijah Wood even said yes to doing that. And the kills were brutal. There were a few moments where I'm just like, I don't even want to look at the screen. That's how brutal it was. So if I was going to rate the Toxic Avenger, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Solid acting for the most part. The film is a nice tight edit. It doesn't go crazy with the CGI. As a grade B movie, it knows its limits. And at the end of the day, I was very entertained. So 8 out of 10 is where I'm putting the Toxic Avenger. If it's in theaters this weekend, you should go watch it. I don't think it's going to be in theaters that long. My theater was kind of empty and it was opening night. But if you've seen the Toxic Avenger, let me know what you thought down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.